today. Okay, so we go. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready for today? Thank you everyone for joining me once again. I am super excited to be coming your way. My name is Praise for and welcome to PFthinks. Okay, all my Instagram family, thank you very much. Facebook, YouTube. I did promise that I will try and sustain this, but I'll make it shorter, unlike the 1 hour I used to do 3 a.m. last year. Okay, today I just want to talk about how you can attract favor, and how you can attract favor in the year 2021, right? A lot of people pray for favor. It's one of the things people pray for the most. Everyone wants to be favored. I want favor from God. I want favor from man. People don't do, maybe they have not gotten the breakthrough they desire and they believe that it's a lack of favor. Yes, you could be right. It's just that there is a slight challenge or there's a missing link, not a challenge, that I believe that if you plug it this year, favor will follow you, favor will overtake you. Because when people look at the word favor, the thing is something spooky, it's something magical, right? And they don't know that favor is actually, the word charis or charisma, right? The favor is the same word as grace, or favor is the same word as, wait for it, your talent, right? And so I love what King Solomon said in the Bible when he said the king's favor is towards a servant that acts wisely. The king's favor is towards a servant that acts wisely. A lot of people don't take note of that word those words of that verse in the book of Proverbs, that the king's favor is towards a servant that acts wisely. So there are two words in there that I want to narrow down on. One is servant. Now, the word servant doesn't necessarily mean a slave. The word servant is a competent service provider. Now, the word servant is actually the same word as minister. So you can actually say the king's favor. It's towards a minister. So now this is drawing home a little bit, because when many of us do our work outside of the religious space, we don't do it as unto the Lord. So we don't, you hear people say, oh, this is my spiritual work, this is my secular work. Now, secular means without God. So the question is, are you doing your work without God? Which is why I find it very funny when people ask me, Praise, how is business and how is ministry? I don't know the difference, because the word ministry is the word service, business is a product and service. So business is ministry, ministry is service, everything is interwoven. So I don't carry God into church and I take him outside, of church when I'm going into my workplace. So you've realized that that is why a lot of people put up their best behavior in the religious space. Now they are rude to their boss. They are not competent on their job. So you see people who are not competent asking God for favor. Now their understanding of favor is that something will just happen magically that will make the president appoint them as minister for education, even though they are not competent. Now they won't think about the consequence of being appointed without their competence and how it will affect the country and the educational system, right? So let's even assume that they now find a way to know the president, and that came to pass. They are going to celebrate it, and people are going to trust God for the same kind of favor, right? But God is not an incompetent God, and that's why you will see consistently God is a stickler for excellence and competence. Now, there is no way favor will not pursue you if you are the best at what you do, such that you become indispensable. And that was why, if you have been following me on social media, yesterday I think I quoted a verse of scriptures that says, wherever the soles of your feet are tread upon. But in my study, I found out that the word there is not actually soles of your feet. The word is that wherever the power I have placed in your hand, which includes your skill, talent, and competence, shall find expression in any sector, and where it is deployed in wisdom in such a way that your gifting becoming indispensable to that sector will deliver to you. It's as simple as, if you find a cure to cancer, everywhere we open up to you. If you find a cure to corona, right, favor will overtake you, because every nation will open up to you. Everyone is looking for solution, right? So The king's favor is towards a servant. That's a competent service delivery person, right? I bought guinea fowl last year from someone. I mean, maybe she's probably listening. And a guinea fowl was very good, right? And I, got some of the people who work with me to begin to buy from her. Then we got one of them wanted to gift our husband's boss, bought for him, and he began, because he was so good. So I spoke for her. She didn't need to pray to me that God, let me have favor in the side of praise. No matter that prayer, if our guinea fowl was very bad, there is no way I'm going to recommend her. I'm going to stop doing business with her. So she's going to lose favor because our work was shoddy, right? So when you do your work so well and your work becomes the best that exists, favor will overtake you because everyone wants to do business with you. Have you not asked why some people seem to prefer certain service providers and why they don't patronize certain people? Because if you do a shoddy job, news will spread around. 11 other customers, you're going to lose them because somebody will tell somebody. The same way, if you do a proper job, an excellent job, you will attract favor, right? So the king's servant, the king's boy is towards a servant. That is a competent service provider. Question is, are you a competent service provider? What is the work of your hand? How well do you do it? Are you the best at what you do? How much of work, of time, of delivery, how much of upgrade, how much of sweat do you put into your work? Do you take it as a gym exercise, as if you're going to the gym? If you're a speaker, for example, do you rehearse like a boxer? Do you get into your speaking gym, right? If you are a hairdresser or something, or what exactly do you do, right? How well do you do your job? If you do your job in a way that you become the best that exists, right? When I used to train bank, we used to say that the value of the customer, the value of the banker is tied to their cabal size. That was a statement that Fela used to make when I was being mentored by him, right? That your worth as a banker is tied to your cabal size. To say that if you decide to leave that bank, right, other banks begin to run after you. They will even give you 2 steps ahead to retain you because they know when you leave, your customers will leave with you, right? That's the value of your indispensability. And I remember Fela used to say that if you can't show me how many letters of offer from other banks, then I will know. I can't really know your worth as a banker. It's the same way. If you are helping people as a coach, how well do people recommend your services? I hardly advertise my service, for example, yet I get, a lot of clients from outside Nigeria who want me to work with them simply because people trust the competence and the delivery, because I'm going to put my life into what I'm doing with you and I'm going to ensure that you get results, right? So I do not pray for favor. What I do is I work so well on what I have in my hand, and I do it so well in a way that I aspire to outdo myself and to become the best that exists. Part of my goal is to become a top 5 in the world in the family life space. So I cannot relax. When people praise me, your work is very good, I know that what they're praising is still mediocrity compared to where I want to go. So the king's favor is towards a servant. That's for level 1, right? So competence. Number 2, a servant that acts wisely. So competence is level 1 to attract favor this year. Number 2 is wise behavior, wise action. Now, when it comes to wise action, this is where a lot of people miss it, because I know a lot of competent people who don't get the deal because they are not wise. There's what we call the palace protocol. So if you read the episode of Joseph in the Bible, when he was interpreting the dream for the chief butler, there was no account that he shaved and he dressed up because he was in prison. But the moment the king sent for him, the first thing he did was to shave, because he understood that there's a way he understood the culture of the palace, the culture of the king, and that there's a way not to show up before the king. Now, a lot of us don't pay attention to that. There is how to show up, there is how not to show up. Many people fail that test. So when I see people say to me, I don't care, people are moved by, they must be moved by faith, not by sight. No, the people looking at you are moved by sight. You want to get married, you don't dress properly, you don't take care of yourself, you don't groom yourself properly. The person who is going to ask you out is going to see you first. He's going to feel you. So if you are body odor, you're going to repel, even though you may be right, you may be righteous, you are still not going to get married. Why? Because the king's favor cannot be towards you because you are shabbily dressed. So wise behavior is saying, for example, I have seen a lot of people, social media managers who have come to me, praise, I want to manage social media and do blah, blah, blah. Some of them will give me a bill of like $1,000. and I just look at them and I listen to them and I ask them, who have you done this for before? Then they don't have any track record. Then I always advise them, if truly what you are saying you want to do can work and it can produce the result, why don't you offer it for free? And offer it to someone who has huge network. We call them the human hub. They are called the human hub. A human hub is a person who has a huge network of people, and not just people, a huge network of high net worth people, and also a good network of other human hubs. That when you solve a problem for him, the people in the circle, when they see it, they want to ask, who did this for you, and can the person do the same for me? So there is no point having a solution that you're carrying up and down. Nobody is willing to patronize you because you have overpriced yourself. And even though you don't have any track record, what you need when you're starting out is a track record. And you must be able to figure out that human hub that you can do it for free, right? It may look like they're using you, but you're also using them because that's a huge leverage. The moment you say, I had someone who worked on something for me, and immediately I was somewhere and somebody said, I need this, and I recommended him. He clicked a deal of about 1.5 million almost immediately, right? And someone was talking to me 2 days ago. I mentioned the same person, and he called me and said, Praise, thank you very much. So that's how it works, right? Because I always say to people, if truly, because I see a lot of people, I can do this, you can increase your sale, 100 times. There are people who can do that and they can charge. But there are people who have not gotten to that level where they can charge everyone. What you need in that instance is look for an opportunity. So when I see someone who says to me, I'm jobless, the question I ask is, what is your competence? If you are really, really competent and you can deliver what you are talking about, look for a place to volunteer your service, right? Prove to them a platform is what you need. My first salary, when I left my first paid employment, was 15,000 naira. All I needed was a platform. I didn't even think twice. I just wanted to run away from home. Now, I did my job so well that they were willing to pay me anything to retain me, but I was done. I needed to go, right? So you really, really can solve the problem. So if you're a marketer, right? You're a marketing consultant, you are this, you are that, you can help people triple their income, you can help them quadruple their income, but you don't have customers. The right thing to do, or the sensible thing to do, look for someone with a fantastic product, go and collaborate and say, you know what, I'm going to deploy my solution to you, right? And I want, for every client I bring to you, negotiate 40%. You will be amazed how many content providers will fall for that and deploy your service, produce the result, and use them as a leverage, use them as a reference point, let them recommend your services to other people, right? You will realize that you may have charged lower, you may not have gotten that amount that you wanted, bulk some amount, but trust me, you will earn more at the end of the day if your work is excellent. So it's one thing to be competent, it's another thing to apply wisdom. So you want favor. Favor is a combination of your competence and wisdom. What it means is, yes, I can solve this problem. Two, who do I solve it for? You must find a way to look for them. So if you're sending out proposals, your proposals has got to be top notch. If you're going to meet, maybe a governor, you have to dress the part, you have to look the part, you have to shave properly, you have to, understand that when you are with people who are ahead of you, you don't display, your knowledge recklessly. You need to listen, ask questions, and do what you need to do, which means you need to research the person. Every company I have to train, I will go online, research, spend like 3 days researching them. So when I'm talking, it's almost as if I'm part of the company, right? And that's why I get retained by many of my customers, right? So you need to understand that, yes, there's a dimension of favor where you pray, but your action is a bigger prayer, because God is not going to commit a nation into your hand when you can't even take care of your family, or when you are not competently leading your family. Do you understand? God is not an incompetent God. So let's stop trying to make God become a 419, or try to make God become someone who is a mediocre person, and you say, oh God, just give me favor, give me favor. Give you favor to do what? Right? You are not competent at what you're asking for, right? So God needs to ensure that you're overqualified so that you don't disgrace him at the end of the day. So guys, you want favor in 2021, please work hard on yourself. Become the best at what you do. That's number one. Number two, understand the protocol of your industry, the language of your industry, the person who holds the ace to where you want to go, right? Ask yourself, do I give him for freemium? Do I do a freemium on my way to doing a premium, right? Because sometimes you need to spot what they lack and approach them to say, sir, this is the problem I want to solve for you. Let me tell you, high net worth individuals, They're expecting you to come and ask for favor, right? But you need to defeat that expectation by finding what to give. Because when you say, I have what to give, you worm your way into their lives, because you are like 1% from the other 99% who are asking for favor. Give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. You are coming to give, and they understand that you are the right person that they need to have in their cycles. So yes, pray for favor, but ask yourself, there is a way for favor to overtake you, follow you everywhere you go, become the most competent at what you do. Then take your competence to the market, solve the problem for the best human hubs you can find. Let them talk about your competence. Make sure it can really, what you're saying can really deliver. Trust me, when people say, I can do this, I can do that, if you can't do it for free, then you can't really deliver it. Trust me, you can't, right? Because if you can, then you will be eager to prove what, right, that this thing can really work. You heard people say, if you have a juju, right, or if you have a medicine and you are so sure of it, you will hit it on your head to say, I know this thing can solve this problem. If you have a tablet, for example, that can solve corona, you will be take it to the market and say, this can solve this, and in fact, infect me with corona, let me use it. And once you prove it, you realize everyone patronize you. Let me round up with a guy who was trying to sell, a cleanser, something that you can use to clean your plate, and he was trying his best, to solve that problem, and he was trying to advertise it, and nobody was listening to him. He was telling them, these are the features of the product, this is what this product can do. Nobody listened. So they gave him an opportunity on national TV to pitch his product. Guess what it did? Because everything they used to make the product was organic, unlike other detergents that they would say, oh, keep it out of reach for children, because it can affect you, it can be poisonous. What this guy did when he got to the TV, he brought out his detergent, poured it in a glass cup of water, and he drank it. I mean, the audience couldn't believe what they saw. The people couldn't believe what they saw. The moment he drank it, and they said, unlike others, said, I challenge all my competitors to bring their own detergent, to bring their liquid soap out, right? And not detergent, liquid soap, to bring the liquid soap out and drink it on national TV. Of course, none of them could. Guess what? His sales soared. Why? Because he knew that what he was selling can actually deliver, and he was smart enough to know how to pitch effectively. Guys, it's a year to match competence with wisdom, and trust me, favor will overtake you, right? Because that action in itself is prayer. There is the mouth prayer, there is the action prayer. Both of them must sing for miracles to happen. How about help you today? Well, I will be teaching people by the last Friday, last Saturday, and last Sunday of this month on how to score their goals, right? On how to transform their life, transform the pattern, transform their energy, and prepare themselves, to cut favor for the rest of the year, right? You want to join Goal Scoring Masterclass Stream 2, you can go to www.iampraiseforwoware.com/goal scoring. Trust me, it's a class in 3 days. You will see your life on paper. You will see why you are not scoring your goals in the previous years. You will see your patterns in the last 10 years, and you'll be able to create the next 10 years. And you will name your year. You will know exactly what to do, how to pitch in your particular sector, what you need to do differently, how to select your top 11 players for the year, and you will see your results radically change. I have seen miracles happen, by teaching this class, and I know you are next in line. So you can go to iampraiseforwoware.com/goal scoring and register for that class. Trust me, everything is going to change. Once you change, your energy change, the opportunities coming your way will change, because the laws of coincidence and the laws of attraction sets in once orderliness is in place. So the work is working on you. God is waiting on you to change so that favor can overtake and pursue you every day of your life. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope this has been helpful. Share this with someone that you know, and let us help people. Trust me, this year is about pushing as many people as I can, coaching as many people as I can, helping people to understand what works and to work it out. That's it. It's no story. It's not one theory. No, this is practical. This is what works. If you follow this line, this is what will happen. I did it with a group of people last year. Their results was something else. Some of them didn't believe the numbers they did, and I know I can help you achieve the same. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye. All my Instagram family. Thank you, everyone, and Facebook, everyone on